Now, I'm going to tell you something, okay? I actually have a dream that men come together and we're in a standpoint where we actually gain the leverage back in the dating game that has been lost. At a point where men are no longer at the disadvantage. At a point where men actually have brotherhood. At a point where men actually have community. And I notice that this is not going to actually happen with just myself. I am only one man. I can only make so many videos. I can only do so much. It is not until men actually come together and stop competing and come together for one common movement, one common purpose, one common cause. It is not until that happens that things will actually change. So what I did is I actually took it upon myself. Last week, we released Headman Nation. We have crossed over 150 members, and men every single day are actually engaging in this community. Not only are they receiving the new language of women and showing step by step how to actually have the dating life of abundance, but these men are now mission-focused men helping grow this movement and this cause to come together. What I advise you to do after today's video is over is I advise you to go down and click the link in the description and check out what I made, because it is truly life-changing, and I made that from the bottom of my heart. So I titled this video today, When to Properly Pull Back to Maintain Her Attachment So She Chases. Let's just say this one more time so that way it sinks in. When to properly pull back to maintain her attachment so she chases. Okay, here's what you have to know. I'm going to show you a lot of uncomfortable truths today, because the fact is I don't think most men understand how deep this actually goes when it comes to maintaining female attraction. When I say when to properly pull back, let's just break down that first line. Properly pull back means that there's a way to do it and a time frame to do it in. Now, I'm telling you this because at some point, if you don't pull back, she will. All of you guys, when you're dating a woman, will have to go through a period in time. And I don't care if you guys have been seeing each other for 2 months. I don't care if you guys have been seeing each other for 2 years. If you don't pull back first, at some point, the woman is going to try to force a miniature breakup. She will interject these mini breakups, or she will start to interject chaos and turmoil to try to plant something in your head to make you think that she doesn't like you, because what she's trying to do is she's trying to see if you have a fear of loss. Okay, this is very important. Now, the number one reason why you as a man have to do the pullback first is because you have to understand you being willing to pull back first is going to satisfy hypergamy. So before I explain to you when to do this, so that way you know she's properly attached or properly invested, you have to actually look at this from the woman's point of view and what women run into with normal, average, everyday guys left and right. Majority of women, when they are dealing with men, or majority of women when they are dating men, here's what they run into. They run into men who give them 100% certainty, men who constantly want an exclusive long-term monogamous relationship with them, and men who put all of their cards out on the table and properly show the woman that they're 100% invested into them. And all that happens in that woman's brain is she sits there and she goes, this guy's low value. This guy doesn't have any options. She sits there and goes, I don't really consider myself to be all that special or important anyways. So the fact that this guy thinks that I'm special and important automatically without me having to do anything to earn his attention or his approval lets me know that he's probably low value or low status. And here's the shittiest thing about this that all of you guys are going to have to accept. Even if you are a great guy, even if you are a masculine man, even if you are a man who has his shit together and has a purpose in life and makes a lot of money and is really cool and is really charismatic, all of these little miniature habits that you do that you subconsciously don't even recognize, it adds up. Every single time that you reach for that handhold, that's an interest test. She starts to see that neediness. Every single time that you are the first to even give a hug goodbye, if you're the first one to try to give a hug goodbye, the little things, okay, it's the added exclamation mark at the end of the text message. It's the added emoji on the end of the text message. It's the text messages where you use 15 words to complete your thought when 7 or 8 words would have done the trick perfectly. It's the little things that signal overinvestment. It's the little things that give her certainty. Those are the things that add up where she starts to say, you know what, I doubt this guy's value. It's not that I don't like him as a person. It's not that I don't like his personality. It's not that I think he's a bad guy. It's not that I'm, even unattracted to him. She maybe will look at you and think, yeah, he's a really attractive guy, but she doubts your value. She doubts your sexual market value. And because of that, she doesn't like you. And because of that, she doesn't respect you. So I'm going to tell you this. If you don't pull back first, at some point she will. And you have to let that sink in. You have to know this. And see, this is really where the men are made, and this is where the men separate from the boys, and here's why. This is going to scare the ever-living hell out of you when you do it for the first time. At some point, you're going to run across that girl you really like. She's going to be a 9 or a 10 to you in your eyes. You're going to look at her and you're going to think she's fucking perfect. You're going to look at her and you're going to say she's fucking gorgeous. I love this woman. At some point, all of you will run into that. She's going to be very attractive to you in your eyes. Now, she might not be this guy's 9 or 10, but she will be your 9 or 10. And see, this is where the boys separate from the men. Because if you view her that way, eventually your high interest is going to come out through your vocal tone. Eventually your high interest is going to come out through your body language. And eventually your high interest is going to come out through your subcommunication. You will say, I love you with your eyes. You will say, I love you with your body language far before you ever say it verbally. And she knows. And as soon as you get to that spot of emotional investment prior to her, this is where the games begin. So in today's video, I'm going to show you why you need to pull back first and how to pull back first properly, so that way you don't do this prematurely, meaning you have to make sure that she has emotional investment in you, and you also have to make sure that she has some sort of attachment to you as an individual beyond the bedroom. That's the important thing. I'm going to stress this. Beyond the bedroom. You need to make sure that she likes you as an individual and as a man and trusts your character beyond the bedroom. So you can't just say, oh, well, I slept with her twice and now all of a sudden I'm able to pull back. That is not how this fucking works. You have to do this in a calibrated way. So I'm going to explain to you the steps and how you know when to do this and when not to do this. So let's dive in. There's a few things you need to look for as a man to know when to do this. So the very first thing that you have to look for to know when you're actually able to pull back is the woman has to actually take a vested interest, or she has to be invested in your day. So if you start to get text messages from her, such as good morning with an emoji, or you start to get text messages from her like, how is your day going? This is the very first thing that you have to look for. Women do not do this type of shit unless they actually like the guy. Okay? So if she's saying this to you, she actually cares about you to some degree. I'm not saying she's in love with you, but to some degree, she's wanting this situation to pan out. She's wanting this situation to go somewhere. She's wanting to potentially have a relationship with this guy. That's why she's saying, how's your day? Or that's why she's saying, what are you up to today? Or she's saying, how's your day going? Or she's saying, good morning. She's doing anything just to make you feel as if she likes you. Women reserve this level of femininity for only a very small percentage of men that they actually give a shit about. So this is the first green flag that you have to look for. You cannot pull back unless you get 1 or 2 of these types of text messages, and they have to come through and they have to be genuine, meaning it's probably going to take you actually seeing this woman for probably 2 months, maybe 2 to 3 months consistently before you get a message like this, because that's how long it takes to raise her buy-in temperature before you know she actually likes you. So that's the very first green flag that you have to look for. The second thing that you have to look for is you have to look for text messages or a phone call that she gives you or that she sends to you with what I would call fluff or filler information. So if she sends you a text message that's like, just got my nails done, or she sends you a text message like, just had this for lunch, or you wouldn't believe the amazing walk that I just went on at this park, or the amazing walk I just went on outside. If she starts giving you fluff and filler information regarding her day, that means she's trying to chat with you. She's trying to talk to you. That is a second green flag you have to look for, especially if you know this woman on an intimate level. If you guys have slept together and she's giving you this type of information about her day, that means she likes you. This is very good. Once again, you're raising her buy-in temperature. You're raising her buy-in investment. You cannot start to pull back unless you see these things. And I'm going to explain to you why you need to pull back in these circumstances very shortly. And I'm also going to show you why you have to do this, and it doesn't make you cruel, it doesn't make you a bad person, and it also satisfies hypergamy to the deepest degree. There is one more green flag you have to look for. Let me explain. The third green flag that you have to look for is she has to make a actual effort in pleasing you outside of the bedroom. Okay? So here's what I mean by that. If she randomly will order you a coffee and send it to your house, that's a level of investment. If she notices that you are in a stressful state, or maybe your room is messy, your house is messy, and you don't even have to ask her to help you, she just goes out of her way and takes initiative to actually do some favors for you physically, like around your house, or she starts to do things for you, she likes you. We live in a world right now where women reserve their femininity only for specific men that they actually like. This is why in previous videos I've told you to hold back or to withhold masculinity and actually make women earn it from you. Women do these exact things. They only bring this sort of behavior to men that they genuinely like. If she goes out of her way to bring you food, if she goes out of her way to bring you coffee, if she does little things like that for you, this is how you know this woman is actually growing feelings for you and she's on the verge of actually being in love. It is not until you notice those three things that you can now start to pull back, and I'm going to explain how to pull back and when you need to. How you pull back is you just cut the communication in half, okay? If she's used to hearing from you every day, go to every other day. If she's used to seeing you once a week, skip a week. Little things like that. You start to pull back and you start to seem disinterested. And the reason why you have to do this is because you're doing two things. Number one, you should be out generating other options. Okay, so this plants a seed in the back of her brain saying, I think he maybe found another woman at my level of attractiveness. Number two, you're satisfying hypergamy. And number three, you're demonstrating pre-selection. You're saying, hey, I have enough things going on in my life, and that maybe will even include other women. Therefore, what I'm doing with my time is I'm putting it elsewhere. And what this is going to do is now she's going to pursue you more. She's going to chase you at a deeper level, and she's actually going to fall in love with you. I didn't make the rules. Mother Nature did. I didn't choose that love in the dating game is this psychological. Mother Nature did. I didn't choose that jealousy has this big of a pull on female emotions, especially in the dating game. Mother Nature did. And oftentimes a woman has to have some sort of fear of loss. A woman has to have some sort of fear of missing out on you. A woman has to feel some sort of jealousy and some sort of negative emotion regarding your guys' relationship in some way, shape, or form. She has to feel that at some degree or she's not going to love you. And only when you notice those three things are you finally able to pull back, are you finally able to actually remove yourself from that interaction. And you're going to notice if she chases and she pursues you even more, that's a very good sign that this woman is worth investing in.